Hi guys, and welcome to the State of Crypto, your one-stop source for all crypto-related news. I'm your host Martin, and this is episode 117. Ripple returns funds to Escrow, Binance acquires DAPP review, and China blocks Etherscan.io. Now, if you're catching this stream live, welcome, and if you're catching the replay and have any suggestions for us, please leave us a comment below. We really want to know what you're thinking. Now, if you want to keep up to date with the latest crypto-related news, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button and that bell so you're notified when we go live. And if you want to keep on chatting with us once the stream is on, you can join us on the Discord. The link is in the description, guys. Now, happy Tuesday. I hope you're having a blast. I hope you're having a great day. Trading has been a little bit slow today. The market has not been getting any violent movements, at least not until, I think the last I looked at it was like 4 p.m. So again, just a very, very chill day today on the market. So we do have a couple news that we're going to get through, and then we're going to jump onto the technicals, right? So let's get on to the news. Anyways, the crypto exchange Waves, stopped operations and reopened as a hybrid crypto platform on a new domain. The migration from Waves DEX to the new Waves.exchange platform started on Monday, December the 2nd at 7 GMT, and it has now been successfully completed. Now, Waves representatives also added that the core developer teams will focus on the protocol, which includes both open and private implementations, as well as sharding and infrastructure development. Marketing and support will be performed by a separate structure. Now, according to Waves CEO Alexander Ivanov, Waves DEX was a prototype. However, now that it became large enough, it is time to transfer the management to a dedicated team and focus on protocol development. Now, I do believe it's interesting that they're doing this switch. I'm not sure if there's other exchanges that have gone through the same. However, I am really looking forward to see what they do now that they switch. And in case they can't hit it off, I'm really wondering or interested in seeing what they're going to do, right? Because, again, not 100% clear what... I know they were having a little bit of problems. They wanted to do this to, get a little bit more adoption, I guess. They're saying they have a lot of people. I'm not sure here with them really what's going to happen. Let's see how much adoption they keep on getting now that they've switched. And, we'll try to follow up with the news regarding this exchange, see what else keeps coming up, right? Now, the Central Bank of South Africa is looking to introduce new rules to govern the use of cryptocurrency and digital currencies in the country, according to South African financial newspaper Business Report. The South Africa Reserve Bank, or SARB, is readying itself to deploy new rules early next year. The SARB Deputy Governor Kuben Naidu reportedly told the press last week that the rules bring the 5-year-long consultation period on the topic of digital assets to an end. The bank is reportedly taking action to prevent cryptocurrencies from being used to evade currency controls. The new regulations would place limits on how much local currency could be sent outside the country. Again, another country that is regulating the amount of money that you can actually send from the country. Now, presently, cryptocurrencies are not governed by these limits. The new regulation would see that they are. It should be noted that smaller local banks have already been tightening their grip on cryptocurrencies in the country. For example, Business Report says that at the bank First National Bank, or FNB, which is one of South Africa's big 5 banks, the accounts of all companies dealing with cryptocurrencies have been shut down. Again, a country that is really going against the cryptos, instead of really embracing them like other countries like Switzerland is, right? Should they try to adopt it? Yeah, I do believe so, man. They probably would benefit a lot more from adopting crypto than from trying to battle it, right? Like, we covered an article a couple days ago, I think, saying that Jack Dorsey was going to live in Africa so he could start developing some of these countries, because he believes that the future of Bitcoin is there. Now, South Africa, let's say it's one of the most developed countries there, probably in the financial sector. But again, maybe they shouldn't fight it if the rest of the continent might start adopting it, right? Once again, guys, I do have my headset open. Sorry. There we go. Had to get rid of that real quick. And let's put this on shuffle because the playlist is going a little bit nuts. What else? Ethereum, man. What's happening with Ethereum? Sorry, no. China, I guess. Yeah, it is for Ethereum. As of Tuesday, Etherscan.io, one of the longest running and most widely used Ethereum block explorers, was inaccessible from IP addresses inside mainland China based on tests performed locally. Now, the change appears to be recent, according to greatfire.org, which compiles and monitors databases of sites that are blocked inside China. Etherscan.io was still accessible with no censorship detected as of August 18, 2019. It's likely Great Fire scanning records showed that Etherscan.io has become 100% blocked since at least October the 30th, rendering it inaccessible from inside China unless via a VPN. And this is likely the first known case of a blockchain explorer becoming an internet firewall target, and it puts Etherscan.io in the company of other blocked information on social media sites such as Google, Facebook, Twitter, and Reddit. Now, Matthew Graham, CEO of blockchain investment firm Sino Global Capital, said this is another instance of friction between the decentralized and immutable technology of blockchain and the tightly controlled centralized government of China. We should expect additional problems like this in the future as blockchain is integrated further into the Chinese economy and daily life. It is not immediately clear what exactly led to the blocking of a blockchain explorer in China, but last year there were reports that cryptocurrency users encoded censored articles regarding the Me Too movement and a pharmaceutical scandal in China onto Ethereum transactions in a bid to bypass internet censorship. There is evidence that the blockage may have happened sometime in September and went largely unnoticed. Now, for instance, MakerDAO, the decentralized finance project, switched from using Etherscan.io in a WeChat post in Chinese on September 16th to using a new Etherscan site, cn.etherscan.com, in another post on September 30th. The new site, which appears to be identical to Etherscan.io, is currently accessible from inside China. Anyways, the recent debate regarding Ethereum's difficulty bomb is finally finished, with a rough consensus being reached. According to developers, the difficulty bomb will see yet another day, so it's going to get pushed back. The details regarding what was said are a bit more difficult to acquire, as a public call between the developers experienced a number of technical issues. However, Pegasus team Baco confirmed that the developers agreed to push the difficulty bomb by another 4 million blocks. So according to estimates, the issue of difficulty bomb will next emerge in about 700 days, meaning in about 2 years approximately. In other words, the bomb will kick in once again in 2021 or 2022. On the other hand, the proof of stake beacon chain will go through significantly earlier, likely in spring 2020. Meanwhile, the inflation will grow by 2,000 Ethereum per day by the time the fork occurs. Now, at the moment, the number of Ethereum per day sits around 11,600, meaning that it is expected to grow back to 13,600, which is about the same number that miners were seeing before the bomb kicked in. Now, the developers agreed to hold an urgent hard fork soon after the new Istanbul update, which Istanbul, I think, is supposed to go live on December the 4th. Now, the fork will take place only in a few days, so on December the 7th, on block 9,069,000. This is allegedly going to be the last hard fork that Ethereum 1.0 will ever experience, as it will open the way to Serenity and eventually Ethereum 2.0. However, before the transaction to Ethereum 2.0, the network will see a number of changes. This will include the activation of Casper, the alleged switch to POS, the update to Ethereum Virtual Machine, as well as the change of cross-contact logic and protocol economics. On top of all that, in June 2020, Ethereum's network is expected to get yet another update called Berlin, which will be the next step towards Ethereum 2.0. Anonymous, how's it going, man? Yeah, it's all's well, man. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. How's life, brother? Anyways, on XRP, what's going on? Recent whale transaction tracking, basically, this on Twitter. If you have this whale alert, it'll tell you what's going on. They noted that the most recent escrow arrived at the start of the new month. The usual 1 billion XRP was released and later returned in large tranches. Basically, the transfers were completed in 3 transactions, with the largest one being 500 million XRP. In the previous escrow unblocking, about 400,000 XRP remained outside of wallets, basically in outside wallets to be distributed or sold. This time, Ripple once again faced doubts about its intentions to sell altcoins, especially as XRP prices continue to slump. Still, the readiness of XRP to hold onto assets may re-spark the hopes of future development. Currently, the usage of XRP is optional on the RippleNet decentralized protocol. Transactions on Ripple network also showed a significant pickup in October and November, rising to a few million per day. Now, this article says that at this point it's uncertain what the source of transactions is, but there are records of significant transfers of value through Ripple protocol. Actual XRP transactions are only a part of the mix. Now, if you remember, we kind of talked about that. I think Sam from To the Lifeboats went and dug a little bit, and we came to the conclusion that it was a whale that was moving and just basically buying Bitcoin, selling buying Bitcoin on Ripple, and then undoing the transaction and just circulating, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He had a lot of wallets doing that, and that was what was creating that apparent spike in volume, right? Part of it. Now, there is a spike in volume that's going on from on-demand liquidity. Again, that is a little bit different. So, anyways, yeah. They said that the readiness of Ripple to hold on to the assets may re-spark hopes of future development on the article. I think development has been going on. Again, Ripple is buying companies that are contributing to the ecosystem, right? So again, I'm not 100% sure why the article is going there with that comment. Like I said, the spark is there to keep on developing on Ripple, so it's not like it's dead. And if they decide to keep all of it, I don't believe they're doing it because users are worried that the price is going to shift because of that, right? If they're deciding to return all that. Hey, David, how's it going, man? What's up at XRP? Lowest of all time. Not the lowest of all time, but lowest of recent times. Yes, we'll talk about that once we get to the chart part. Thank you for being here, David. I haven't looked at the market yet since 4, so unless something tanked, I haven't looked. So, anyways, where was I? Yeah, okay, cool. Like I said, if they're holding it, it could be a couple of reasons. One is December. Maybe they don't want to put that XRP into the market in December. It might be detrimental to their plans. 2, maybe they don't have anything to acquire in December, therefore they're not going to use it. I don't know, but a lot of companies do have the policy to stop expenses unless they're really planned ahead on the last month, to kind of keep everything in and kind of close accounting without having a lot of things really being unaccounted for by the end of the fiscal year or by the end of the year. So again, it could be maybe a move from Ripple to like really try getting to that and like maybe stop expenses from happening with that XRP and just like maybe close their balance sheets and then start the new year with the new amount. I mean, I'm not sure why they returned it. I don't think there's any information out there stating why they're doing that. So let's get on to the next Ripple article. There is some noise going on around Twitter that that Santander is gonna use ODL for the transactions. Nothing has been officially reported yet. It's still speculation. Although when we talked about that Santander article, we did say that in Mexico they're gonna stop charging commissions for the remittances from the U.S. to Mexico. And the only way they can do that is if the commission fee is low enough to be negligible. And the only way that could be is with ODL, if they're using the XRP token. Again, not 100% sure. They haven't really disclosed it yet. It's still speculation, and I believe that's the only way they can get around it. Otherwise, even if they use MoneyGram, MoneyGram does charge a certain percentage fee, which again would be too much for the bank to assume. And I believe, like I said, the only way they can get around that is by using the XRP token, right? Anyways, on this other article, Ripple Blockchain Research Initiative for Universities, or UBRI, is about helping educational institutions and their students with technical innovations and development. So basically conducting research and funding when necessary. So the word has been spread that the University of Tokyo has joined Ripple's UBRI. Ripple has 30 universities which act as the company's partners, and those include academic institutions in the US, Europe, Singapore, Japan, and Ripple has added the second Japanese academic institution to this list, which is the University of Tokyo. What is even cooler is that this place now runs the second XRPL validator in Japan. That's going to be pretty interesting. Now, from now on, the university is going to take part in validating all the transactions happening on the XRP ledger and basically prevent double spending. I do believe it's interesting that they're going to give them that. I'm not sure how much access they're going to have to the node or to this validator. I mean, they're probably not going to play with it, but seeing how it works, I do believe it's going to be very interesting for the university students. They might be able to develop something else to help with this XRP ledger, right? Sorry, volume's a little bit low. I'll turn it up a little bit. We usually have it a little bit higher. Yesterday I was editing, and I kind of turned it down. It was a bit too loud for me, mainly for the intros that we've been doing. But yeah, anyways, on to Binance. There's some news for Litecoin, so let's go to Binance. Binance continues on its acquisition spree of crypto-based startups. The latest acquisition was DAPP Review, an analytics company looking at network activity token usage and adoption of distributed apps. Now, the capacity of DAPP Review to track more than 3,900 dApps on 13 public blockchains is also a tool for popularization. Listing the DAPP on the preview allows for developer teams to build up their presence. Now, Binance CFO Wei Zhou said on-chain applications are still the missing piece for mass blockchain adoption. The DAPP Review team has shown its commitment to dApps and strong execution in building a leading global dApps platform within a year of establishment. Binance and DAPP Reviews share a mutual goal of driving blockchain applications. According to the article, DAPP Review also tracks the vibrant crypto space for Chinese startups and platforms. The previews and statistics also boasted the popularity of Tron and its dApps and tokens. After the acquisition, DAPP Review will remain independent in its technical development and use the funds provided by Binance to further its development. Binance will assist the firm with marketing and popularization, but again, I believe what they're saying is going to be a hands-off approach, right? They can do what they want, they'll just give them money for them to do it, and then just help them market, right? So they're not, apparently, Binance is not going to interfere with the development team, which is good. That's how you keep these things going, right? You have these developers, sometimes they need the funding, they need the help of marketing, they need the help of becoming popular, and Binance jumping with them and saying, look, we'll help you with that. You just keep on doing what you're doing. That's what's really important, dude. That doesn't kill the idea. Once you start taking control and the developer feels that he's losing control of his baby, let's say, then you start to kill the idea. The passion starts to die out because it's no longer yours. Someone else is controlling it. So again, them going with this approach, I believe is really, really cool. Anyways, the performance of DAPP varies depending on the network used. The Ethereum network is still at the lead due to its head start, but Tron remains the fastest grower. And EOS network is facing problems due to the ADOS mining process, which consume resources and push users out of dApps. Now, the Tron network also popularizes Chinese developer teams, and for most host highly used gambling dApps, I guess. So they're using it for gambling dApps, right? That's not the best, but again, I do guess that people in Asia like to gamble as well, so maybe that's why they're doing that, right? Anyways, on to the next one. Two more articles, and then this one and one more, and then we'll get into the technicals, right? Binance has announced supports for Tezos staking, according to an announcement published on December 3rd, so today. Starting on December 2nd, tomorrow, Binance users will be able to trade with Tezos and Tezos rewards to be calculated daily based on a live snapshot and distributed monthly. Now, the distribution is set to end before January 20th. And after that, on the 20th of each following month, they're going to be delivering the staking rewards, right? Binance said that the users must hold at least one Tezos in order to qualify for staking rewards. Tezos is currently trading at $1.30. That was at the time of press from the article. If you want, we'll check that out once we get to the stream. If anyone wants to look at Tezos, we'll look at it. If not, I really don't care how much it's trading for right now. I'm not holding any Tezos, and I'm not going to hold it just to get staking on Binance. So, other major exchanges have added Tezos staking rewards to their available offerings. Coinbase added the feature in early November before transitioning its custody arm, Coinbase Custody, to an internationally based staking service on November 21st. Now, staking in general refers to a practice of holding a cryptocurrency in a wallet to support a blockchain network operations, in addition to allowing holders to vote on blockchain operations, staking also generates periodic rewards for the holder staking their funds. Now, it's kind of like paying dividends, right? It's like you put it there, you hold it, you really don't trade it, you don't move it, and then you get paid dividends, right? That's the equivalent of staking. If you want to get it in like more familiar terms for people, right? You put it there, it generates money, it pays you back interest, something along those lines, right? Anyways, to improve the liquidity, this I'm just going to read out. To improve the liquidity and user trading experience among our wide range of available assets, Binance will remove and cease trading of the following trading pairs at 8 a.m. UTC on December the 4th, so tomorrow. Yeah, so in a couple hours actually. Pearl to the USDC, ADX to Binance, POA to Binance, GNT to Binance, and ARDR to Binance. Users will be able to still trade these above assets in other trading pairs that are available on Binance. So again, they're not getting delisted. Just you're not going to be able to trade those pairs. Again, like, do you remember how we said that when you have a lot of exchanges, there's a lot of volume that is not concentrated, so it's like dispersed. Then it makes it harder to get in and out of positions. They're less liquid, let's say. Same thing happens within an exchange. If you have way too many trading pairs, you maybe have trading pairs that are not trading that often, and it just makes it harder for people to get in and out of those positions. Maybe it's costing you to have that available for people, but then again, they're not using it, so it's just a non-cost-effective way to have that, and you also have to give maintenance to that, etc. So again, sometimes it's just better to delist them, right? Or to get rid of those trading pairs. Anyways, that's it for this. We're gonna jump on to the technicals, right? So yeah, bear with me for a second, and we'll get there. Yo, awesome, we're back. For some reason, the intros are playing slower. I have to check that out. The first one didn't come out with glitches. The second one came out all glitchy. It's probably something with OBS. It's probably not running right. Anyways, I do like the fact that we have those up and running now. Anyways, welcome to the technicals part of the stream. I hope you're having a blast. I hope you're having a great day. Again, I'm doing this because maybe later in the future I'm going to be able to divide the stream into two parts, and it just makes it easier for me to find this marker and be able to separate the stream into two parts, right? Yeah, I was pretty sick, right? They do get a little bit slower, though. If I run them the second time, Soka, hey, thanks, Soka. See, if I run them again, it'll probably run better now. There's something that is happening where if I run it the first time, it stays. It's like, it's glitchy, right? But if I run it the second time, it runs fine. So, it's giving me problems. Yeah, see, the second time is perfect, man. It gives me problems because I run it pre-stream to make sure it's loaded properly. But then when I play the first video, when I come back to the second one, it's glitchy again. And then if I go back to the first, then the first one's glitchy. So again, it's something with OBS. I'm going to have to find a way to, like, do something with this because it's weird, man. I can't get them to work properly. But yeah, I think they're pretty sweet, man. It took it didn't take a while to edit them. I bought them like pre-made, but I do believe they're pretty sweet, man. That one and the first one, the opening one, I think is really cool as well. I like the first one for the news and the second one for this. Anyways, let's go see what's going on with the market, man. Yesterday, money flowing out of the cryptosphere, 0.23% from an opening of 193.92 billion, closing at 193.23 billion. So a 454 million move to the downside. Right now, still moving down. Money flowing out of the cryptosphere, 1.94%. Sitting at 189.48 billion. So a 3.75 billion move to the downside. Again, money flowing out of the cryptosphere is not the best. Let's go look at the dominance for Bitcoin. It's still getting dominance. I don't like that. Again, if you follow this channel, you probably know why I don't like that. It's not good for the cryptosphere if Bitcoin just dominates. Bitcoin then sets the tune for everyone, and no one can do anything about it. So the more divided that this pie is, the better it is for everyone. Sorry, I forgot to put the music back in. So again, I do not like the fact that Bitcoin is getting dominance. I want Bitcoin to keep on dropping dominance. I don't want to adjust this channel because it is still down sloping. We're just broken out of it, not with a lot of volume. So again, and this is good anchoring. 1, 2, 3 on the bottom. If I adjust here, maybe we're not done. I mean, it would still make sense, right, in some areas. But again, I like it a little bit better here, I guess. We'll see how this keeps on developing for dominance, right? Anyways, dominance for Bitcoin yesterday, gaining a little bit of dominance, 0.13%. From an opening of 69, sitting at the closing, yesterday at 69.07. Right now, trying to move up, 0.09%, sitting at 69.14. That's it. Let's move on to the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin sitting at 7,169.01. Anonymous has a comment. Chatter, 5.5K, 6K, likelihood increasing. Market is now moving into bearish sentiment. Yeah, I mean, it never got out of bearish sentiment. It kind of... A couple days ago, I actually said that the feeling was mixed, right? You were seeing a lot of bullish sentiment, a lot of bearish sentiment. Again, not the strongest performer, right? We had a nice run, kind of stopped on divergence, and then we started to drop, right? All that divergence developed on the shorter scales. We kind of talked about that. We'll get to that once we get into the shorter time frames. Again, being bearish, no surprise. Yesterday, I called it move to the upside. We did get it. It was before the stream. Discussion I was having with Benny off stream on Twitter, and yeah, we did hit that move to the upside. And then we talked about it tanking again. We developed divergence, and then we are tanking still. So again, right now, price action to the downside. That very positive momentum island we got very, very short-lived. We didn't get those large green candles we sometimes get with this. So again, not really much we could do. We were kind of expecting to get something green. It wasn't too strong, man. Again, like you said, Anonymous, the sentiment is bearish, and that is what is causing this movement to the downside as well. Obviously, a big part of that is the sentiment, overall sentiment on the market, right? Getting a new track to play. Sorry, there we go. Positive momentum starting to die out. You can't see it, man. I really have to zoom in, and then it screws up my charts. See? Barely there, right? Sitting sold still at 35.74 on the RSI. No divergence developing, no bearish or bullish divergence developing yet. Sorry, I'll have to do this real quick. There we go. Higher, lower, right? Less positive momentum. So again, just going with the market. Nothing going on the daily. Let's go on the 4 hours, man. On the 4 hours, we're starting to get tightening of the Bollinger Bands. Large move to the downside right now on this 4-hour candle, bouncing off approximately, I would call it at 7,100 maybe where we bounced. 7,104. That's a little bit off. Moving to the downside still again. We talked about this potential move to the downside, but you know what we talked about as well yesterday, and we mentioned it, is if you go down, you're gonna very likely create divergence, right? Sorry, the charts are getting a little bit cluttered. I'll do something in a second. Just give me 1 second, guys. I believe this is from the 1 hour. Yes. There we go. This one should also be, I guess, from the 1 hour. Ah, man, this is weird, man. Every day I change this, and I make sure they're on the right time frame, and then they all just keep on coming back, man. It's just like really weird, man. For some reason, they don't want to stay where they're supposed to. Anyways, let's see this. On your RSI, you don't have it. On your RSI, you're still going lower. Sitting sold at 38.00. Again, this is still developing. This just started to develop. That means we're going to bounce right now on the 4 hours. It just means we just started to create it, right? Again, you have a lot of opportunity to create this divergence. Why? Well, look at this, man. You have to go down really, really low. So like over here, right? Maybe even down here for you to get a move to the downside and like get even to here, right? And this is all one island. Remember that. So even if it gets to this place, you can always come back and anchor here, because the bounce from here to here, this small bounce, is not very strong. Now this is not a line from the 1 hour. This was the channel that I was tracing. And actually, I'm going to edit this channel, and I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to make it a formal channel. Yesterday, I was messing around with that idea, and I wanted to leave it open because we weren't sure if it was going to play out or not. But look, man, we did get some really nice bounce of that. Especially here, before I deleted it, we had gone up, touched it, and rejected higher prices. Again, rejecting the 20 MA, not the strongest looking stuff right now. Outside of the Bollinger Bands, we're probably going to bounce up a little bit, try to get back into the Bollinger Band area. Maybe this 4-hour candle might close around the mid part of this downsloping channel we just traced. Anyways, this that I have here, like I said, this could still move down, and you can still go down and still make divergence, right? Because you can always come back and anchor here and ignore this one. This was the pump that I was telling Benny that might go to the upside, and we got that small move to the upside. We haven't wicked up here, and then it started to crash again. Here we had that divergence. I have it here, and that's from the 1 hour. So again, it's coming up here for some reason and bothering us on this time frame. I just charted this in the 4 hour. I'll make sure it stays in the 4 hour. See, now it stays for 4 hour, right? So again, sometimes it does stay, that stuff is gonna stay in the 4 hours, but the next day I come in and it's just off for some reason. Anyways, this is also from the 4 hour. Sorry guys, I gotta do this stuff, otherwise it's gonna look really messy on the other frames, right? So there we go. This is from the 1 hour. Yeah, sorry about this, guys. Again, I really hate to do this on stream. But I'm not sure why stuff's not staying where it's supposed to when we come here and do this every day, man. Yeah, sorry, man. If some of you guys get annoyed by this, I'm sorry, but we gotta do this. Otherwise, it looks really crappy on the charts, man. And it just makes it confusing for me as well when I look at them and look to clutter, etc. Anyways, moving to the downside, let's wait and see how this happens. I do believe we might close around that 50, maybe above that mid part of the channel. If we don't, we can still move down a little bit more. You know, it wouldn't be the best indicator. Again, it will show weakness, and we might still come down here and touch this bottom part. Then we'll see where we're at with the divergence, right? Anyways, like I said, sitting sold at 37.54. Let's go into the 1 hour. Cool, on the 1 hour, this is what I called, this is what I sent Benny, actually, this movement here. I said, look, man, you're developing this divergence, right? Price action to the upside. We got it up here. Because Benny was believing that this would still look bearish. And I was telling him, no, man, I do believe we're going to get a move to the upside. This was around, like, in the morning, right? So Benny was talking about that here. And actually did went on, and I think it was this chart. Yeah. So yeah, I traced this divergence for him. I sent it to him on Twitter. I said, look, man, you're failing at the 20. This is the only thing that was worrying me. But again, this divergence was still playing on. We'll get that move to the upside right now. We're breaking down on divergence, right? We created bearish divergence. This line here against this line here. Again, creating that hidden bearish divergence against the RSI. Price continuation, right? Move to the downside slightly. We're doing one of these things, right? We kind of, I sometimes say it, right? When we see this, I say we're gonna start snaking, making these like lower highs and these slightly higher lows, and we started getting to these triangles. But again, I don't want to get this to be too cluttered, so I usually like talk about them, then go to that. Anyways, if this was to be true, and I didn't trace it to the wick, but out there, I'll just put to wick. We would hit a measure move. We haven't quite hit that measure move, so we should expect to at least see 7,062. Right. Anyways, gonna get rid of this. We talked about it already, so it's just gonna get everything cluttered, and I really need to go in here and see what's going on. Okay, cool. Okay, so we're lower high, right? Less positive momentum. Are we? Yes, we're also lower on the RSI again. Just regular market movement, right? Let's see, low, lower low, more negative momentum, and then we came out here to a higher low, let's say, and we broke down. So again, nothing really on the shorter term, just basically the weakness, right? Tightness of the Bollinger Bands, getting that volatility out. And we said when we get that tightness, we usually get violent movements. Sometimes we channel for a little bit. Sometimes they just like happen and like they close and then just explodes again, right? Again, movement to the downside, upsloping consolidation, not usually what you want to see. Remember, when you have upsloping consolidation, it's usually a bear flag, and you usually end up breaking to the downside again. So, yes, this would kind of go with what you were saying. Again, I'm not sure if I should consider this wick. It's way too low, and I don't have a lot of data points. It's too small for me right now to be able to call it something. But again, it would seem that we're kind of doing, not even that, man. This one I can see because it's just hitting the mid part of the channel. Remember how we said that when we traced it on the larger frame that we were bouncing Yeah, see, we went up and we're rejecting that mid part. So again, not looking very strong, man. Again, this would be something like this right now, and that wouldn't be right. So we want to wait for this to develop a little bit more before we actually call something. But again, upsloping consolidation or a pennant would usually mean price continuation and usually be to the downside, right? Upsloping consolidation, bearish. What's happening with this, man? On the 1 hour, we're sitting sold at 32.29. That's what's going on with Bitcoin, right? Again, I haven't looked at the market since like 4 p.m., so I didn't see this happening. Remember what I told you guys, and remember, Anonymous, below the 200, I'll go into another chart, one that's a little bit cleaner for me to be able to illustrate this. Anyways, if you guys missed it, we called this out a while back. I forgot to revisit it. I revisited it after the fact. But we're saying about this potential head and shoulders developing. It did happen. It did play it out. And we did hit that measure move, man. It was very, very nice play, man. So again, if you guys took advantage of this, great. We discussed it once in the stream. And I left it here when it was a potential. And then I just never revisited it until like maybe this day. So on like the 29th or the 30th, I can't remember when, I came back and I said, oh, I forgot to call this out, man. It did play out. Anyways, we did have this going on. It was a very nice head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders that developed. And so that moves to the upside. After that, we've been breaking down since. So again, I was worried about creating another head and shoulders. I had traced it, but we didn't create it, right? A regular head and shoulders, that would be a shoulder, right? Your left shoulder, your head. And then here, like when we were doing this movement to the upside, I was worrying that maybe we get this other shoulder developing, and then we would have really broken down with a lot of strength. This I wouldn't consider a head and shoulders. You really felt a lot on the price. There's a big difference. You were on this shoulder, you were at 7,600. Here you were at 7,400. So again, for me, that's a big difference to call it the other shoulder, and this is very skewed. So again, if you were to consider this the neckline, you would have gone like this. You haven't quite broken it. You're kind of bouncing on it right now. But again, not something that I would call a head and shoulders, right? The only thing I can tell you here, and the way I was pointing it out, is if you wanted to ignore this divergence here, the small one, you can go from here to here. It's all one island. It really don't matter. It's all one island. You can go from here to here. It's still slant divergence, right? Again, bullish, strong, potential price action to the upside. That's what we're looking at. Anyways, let's go on to this chart. I want to show you. Remember, when we're below the 200 MA, we're sitting on bearish turf, right? On the daily. So we'll go here, and I'll do the 200. And then I get this all these freaking weird spikes that make this chart look horrible, man. And this doesn't give me data farther back. Anyways, we'll look at another chart. We'll look at this one, and it just looks horrible, man. Anyways, look. Here's where it's gonna get really messy, man. Again, it's really not looking the best right now. Sorry, 1 second, guys. I gotta play with this a little bit. It's not really, that 200 MA is really messing things up, man. For some reason, before it used to look like just fine, and then all of a sudden it just looks really, really messy and horrible. Anyways, check this out, right? I moved that. I want to move that. There we go. Remember what we talked about, right? Longer term. Look, every time we've been above the 200 MA, simple moving average, we have been on bullish turf, right? So since, let's say, October 2015, above it, we didn't go below it once until February. We hit a spike, then we get above it again, and then we broke below it, right? March. After that spike, it was just crypto winter, right? We're below here until April the 2nd, when we broke up again. And then we broke above that, and we stayed above it until basically September 24th, when we broke below it. Then we kind of had a small spike above it, and we broke below it again. And you know, below that, for me, it's bearish turf. I don't take very long positions on Bitcoin because I need to find a bottom for me to get into. And again, I haven't found that bottom where I can find an area of opportunity or an area of value for me to actually go in and do something. Again, stuff that can happen here. Let me make this a little bit clearer. There we go. Sorry, man. I gotta manipulate this. Once I do this manipulation with the price on the side, it just makes it really weird to navigate. Anyway, stuff that can happen. You can still break down again, revisit this area. where did I have it at? There we go. 6,732. Okay, 6,732. There we go. We'll leave it there. It's close enough. We can revisit this area, right? And we don't want to be down here, man, because here it's our last area of support before we actually drop all the way down to maybe over here we find some support like the 5,000s, and then after that the 3,000s. So not in a very good position for Bitcoin. Again, we might find a bounce on this area, right? We can come here, bounce, and then try to hit higher again. But again, crypto market, crypto sphere, not looking the best right now for long term, right? People might say, buy the dip, add to your position, whatever. It's your strategy, guys. You do what what feels right for you. For me, it doesn't feel right to go in, man. For me, it's just high risk still. I haven't found that bottom where I would be willing to go in. For me, a bottom would be creating a double bottom right here, right? That would be a potential reversal, and that would look something like this, right? You would have one of your bottoms here, and then you would have your other bottom here, maybe something like that. And then that you could find it maybe that reversal. Remember, double bottoms look like W's, right? And then double tops look like M's. So if anything looks like an M, it's bearish. If it looks like a W, it's bullish. So here it would make sense. You're coming down, right? You make that double bottom, and then you go up again. However, this still needs to develop, meaning that you still have a couple days to go before you hit 6,900 at least, or anywhere close enough to that area, maybe plus minus 5%, 4% of the price. And you can call it a valid double bottom, and then you can bounce from there. Maybe look for that bounce. Just because you hit it doesn't mean you're going to bounce, but it could be a potential area where you bounce, depending also on how much negative momentum you make. Now, look at this. Look at this in a shorter frame. Now, let me get rid of this 200 because it's really messing up the chart. There we go. So, looking at this in the shorter term, that movement is not a very sharp movement to the downside. And if you get that movement, you're probably not going to create that much negative momentum. You're not going to get to here. So you're going to create another bullish divergence, right? You're going to create like a class B or type 2 or medium bullish divergence where your price stays the same and your negative momentum or your RSI are slightly higher, right? And then you're converging on the bottom part, creating that bullish divergence, and then you might see that pump again. That's usually what could happen here. I'm going to move on to, I'll leave it there for right now. I do believe there's a move to the downside. That is possible. I haven't found anything to say it wouldn't play out, right? Even if this is much more negative momentum than here. So again, you're still going farther down. Like even if you wanted to ignore this, which I wouldn't suggest because it's significant, you wouldn't have that, right? So again, you don't have anything going on except in the 4 hours. That's the only kind of divergence that you have, right? That's the only bullish divergence. You might get a bounce in the 4 hours, might not be too strong. Right now, still moving to the downside again, undoing everything you had here. Just want to see how this keeps on playing out, right? When we were doing this earlier, this last candle, this looks like a wick. It was green, now it's red. All right, so yes, there is a chance this goes down. So just play tight with your stop losses, right? Set up alerts, have a trading plan, have an exit strategy. Let's go to Ethereum. What's happening with Ethereum? Ethereum yesterday losing dominance, 0.87%. Right now gaining a little bit, 0.37%. Sitting at 8.41% of market cap. Again, Ethereum losing dominance. It was sitting around 9 a couple days ago, right? Almost 9, so up here. So not the best for Ethereum, but again, not the best for the cryptosphere at all, right? Because everyone else is less dominant than Bitcoin. Guys, if you like what we do, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you're notified when we go live. I do appreciate each and every one of you that is here. We have 9 people tuning in. We only have 7 likes. Come on, give us some likes. Ethereum sitting at $144.86, man. What is happening with this? Let's see, on the daily, man. Bollinger Band still expanded, not too much there. Sitting below 20 MA. That negative momentum still decreasing, but kind of stagnating. We might, if Bitcoin keeps on going down, we might start to make another negative momentum bar, and then we'll take it from there because here it looked like we're going to get a cross of the MACD over the signal line, but we really didn't get it. Anyways, sitting sold on the RSI at 33.31. let's see, in the 4 hours we have something going on. This doesn't look too good, right? When we round off like this, it's usually like bearish, man. Again, unless we make a double bottom, then we try to balance. But right now, it's not looking the best. Cool. Now this looks like a lot of stuff's going on. It's a little bit busy, I know. Just bear with me for a second. This one's fine. It doesn't have a lot of data from. It doesn't have any data from the 1 hour. Maybe this was something that I was playing with. Maybe creating a sort of triangle, right? And then we could break down to the downside. I didn't like it. I said it yesterday. We were probably around here yesterday when we were doing the stream. Yeah, it was this candle. I said, look, we come to the bottom, right? That's usually straight triangles. You buy the top, you buy the bottoms, and you sell the tops, right? Anyways, we would have been a measure move from here to here. I'm not too confident because this is going way too far back. Sorry, I'll play something else here. Let's go with this one, I guess. There we go. We haven't hit that measure move yet, right? So again, like I said, not too confident with this triangle. I just traced it because it was a potential, and we seem to have respected it a little bit. Even if you go here, it will still be kind of like a down-sloping triangle, and you're just breaking out. But again, gonna get rid of this structure so we can see what's going on. Again, on the 4 hours, you do have that bullish divergence, right? From here to here. You're going lower on that negative momentum, and you're going lower on your price. So less negative momentum. Lower price on your RSI. You don't have it, you're actually lower on the RSI, sitting sold at 36.65. Again, bullish divergence on the MACD. Sometimes it doesn't play out, right? Sometimes it does play out. It's usually stronger when you have it on two of the oscillators, so here and here. So let's wait and see how this keeps on developing, man. Again, after this bearish divergence, strong bearish divergence, we haven't had anything bullish. So again, movement to the downside, and that's it. Going to the 1 hour, man. On the 1 hour, cool, we have this. Apparently, this is what I traced on the 4 hours. There we go. See how this all jumps, time frames. Awesome. So, bullish divergence, price action to the upside. We got it. It was very nice. However, not the best looking. So, market movement again, breaking is down. Let's see, lower. What we're doing here, let's see, because this happened yesterday. This happened in the morning. So this is negative 16, negative 17. So okay, cool. Very slightly more, and here is slightly lower in price. Again, you're making it's really close. Where you can just leave it sideways, right? And say you're making a kind of a bullish divergence, and that's why you're pumping, right? Again, it's just like 0.01. But again, if you want to go very technical, you don't have that divergence. If you want to go a little bit loose, you can just say it's a straight line, and then you do have it, right? You don't have it on the other side, though. So you get that pump, again, lower high than the previous high. Right? And if anything, from here to here, it is very short, though. You were creating hidden bearish divergence. This will be bullish, sorry, back here, and this is bearish. Sorry if I mixed it up. I'm not sure if I mixed it up or not when I was talking a couple minutes ago. Let's see this, 53.29, 53.14, so slightly lower, so we're not going to call it here. So here we just have that hidden bearish divergence. Price continuation, price action to the downside, right? You were in a downtrend, so we got it. Boom. Also, Bitcoin dump, so this is doing what Bitcoin is doing. Is Bitcoin trying to bounce because we got a green candle here? No, Bitcoin's still making a red candle. Awesome. So what's happening with Ethereum? Sitting sold at 31.38. For Ethereum, nothing else going on with Ethereum. We're gonna go on to Ripple. Ripple dominance on the daily, man. Yesterday gaining a little bit of dominance, 0.28%. Right now losing dominance, 0.99. Sitting at 4.92% of market cap. Again, I want Ripple above 5. It's a little bit better for everyone. But that's it, man. What's happening with Ripple, man? Ripple on the daily, we do have that divergence, right? Bullish. However, if Bitcoin doesn't play ball, it's not gonna matter. So from here to here, we're going lower on the price. From here to here, we're going higher on the price. Remember how we said we could come and revisit this yesterday? Look, I wasn't lying, guys. We did go back and basically kiss that area and try to reject it again. Not the best for Ripple, man. We did say below the 24. It was fair game to come down here. We got this bounce when we were here yesterday. I'm pretty sure it was yesterday or 2 days ago, saying, look, we can come down here. It's a big chance we come down here. Not looking very strong. Again, you know, whatever, man. It's still, you know, divergence right now, bullish. Let's see how this plays out. This day just started. It might be a red day by the looks of it, and there's no reason why this couldn't come all the way down here. Sitting at 21. Ripple sitting at 21 cents, 21.263 cents actually. Moving to the downside. Volatility slightly open on the Bollinger Bands. Well, open, not tightening a little bit, but not too much. And so it wouldn't be weird for us to come down and hit 20 cents again. Right? Even though right now we're probably in that area where we could call this a double bottom. Right? It's close enough, right? 21.2, 21.7. Still all within 1 cent, right? So we'll probably call this a double bottom, and then we try to see a bounce. But again, if Bitcoin doesn't play ball, it's really not going to matter what we see here. Sitting oversold at 28.11. Ripple, the worst performer this year. Again, not dissing on it, just saying what it really is true, right? From December to right now, everyone else still at least holding up, and Ripple, it's just below what it was on December 2018, right? So this would have been December, I guess, here, right? So December was at 27 cents, right now sitting at 21 cents, and everyone else on that time frame sitting at double the price at least, or near double the price. So again, Ripple not really playing ball the best for long-term investment. But again, the one that has the most use case though, right? So I believe this is from the one from the daily source. I'll send this back to the daily. That's the divergence we were talking about. Why is this not staying where it's supposed to, man? It's weird. Anyways, let's go here, shorter term. This from the 1 hour. See, yesterday all this was fine. It was on the 1 hour. It was where it was supposed to be. Anyways, we had bullish divergence, price action to the upside. We were trying to get it, but we're too weak again. We fell even farther down, so we went down to here. And we went down to here, right? Creating another bullish divergence. Also lower on the RSI, so no divergence on the RSI. Trying to get a pump. Again, rejecting the 20 MA. Actually, just rejecting the zero, right? This is our zero line. We were trying to break back into where we started to retrace, and then we actually failed. So seeing that 22 cent, it's being a resistance now. So we actually hit it spot on almost and breaking down below the 20 MA still. Trying to bounce from this area. See, we just moved up a little bit more. Not really the best position for Ripple. Again, that divergence going on, very real. Now, like I said, this is all one island. This is a positive. It's very small, but it still gives you a separation. So if you wanted to, you could go from here to here. If you want to ignore this ones, right, the more immediate ones, or the slanted ones, let's say, and you could go from here to here and call divergence still, and it will be bullish, and that will be fine. So again, your mileage may vary. You can call it whatever you want. You do have that bullish divergence going on Ripple. You just don't have it against the RSI. Let's go into the 1 hour. Ripple in the 1 hour, man, moving down again. Impulse down, open consolidation. Usually bullish. We might see a reversal, but again, not too sure yet. More negative momentum building from the previous low to this low. Again, nothing going on there. We were talking about this. I think I left this open yesterday because I was talking about when we do this stuff, right? When we come lower and then we create this divergence, or maybe it's from the 4 hours. I'm not sure, man. I do have stuff floating here from different time frames. It just makes it harder for me to like look at the charts, man. Sometimes I leave stuff open from the previous day, but then it's hard for me to keep track of everything that I leave open. Then when stuff comes back from another time frame, it's just weird. Anyways, sitting oversold at 27.26. Again, nothing going on. We're moving down. That's it. We gotta wait for something to play out. Anyways, the only thing that we had, why we break down, or what I could see why we broke down, went higher in your price. And look at this. You're sitting at 31 here, and here it's 30. So very slightly down. You could even leave it sideways if you wanted to. Just be making different divergences. If you wanted to consider this a sideways move on that negative, on that positive momentum, you would be making like weak divergence, class C type 3. However, it's slightly lower, right? So you'll be making strong divergence, class A or type 1. So again, we did a segment on divergences. Man, I gotta find that segment and maybe make a small video of it. Awesome. So yeah, that's it for this on Ripple. Again, breaking down, we need to form a pattern. We haven't done anything yet. We don't have any divergence. Just impulsing down. Let's wait and see what develops after this before we actually call something else. By the way, I'm thinking about. Remember how others mentioned be cautious of those chilling Bybit is happening exposed. Yeah, remember you were telling me Bybit. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with Bybit, bro. I haven't followed it, but I know that one of the major YouTubers for crypto, his name is Data Dash. I think he was actually pushing Bybit, and I never quite got into it, and I kind of stopped following the guy. But I do have recent streams, or I looked at recent not streams from him, but recent videos from him where he was mentioning Bybit, and I really never got into it. So I'm not sure what they did or what they're being exposed for. But again, that's why, I mean, here or with me, I would never recommend a product that I haven't used or that I don't use on a regular basis, or at least give you an honest review of it, right? So if you ask me about Binance, I'll tell you Binance is a pretty cool exchange, man. I've used it, I liked it. I like the fact that they have lower rates. But again, if you ask me about Bybit and I haven't used it, and even if Bybit came and paid me money, I wouldn't. If I don't use it and I don't believe it's good, I wouldn't tell you it's good. I would never do that, man. So again, I'm not a sellout. Something that we sell here, it's balanced news. Even though I like Ripple, I try to be as balanced as possible with all the cryptos that we cover and with all the news. So no FOMO, no hype. Very neutral facts. You know what needs to be said and what needs to be done, and really not. I don't go for the hype articles and I don't go for the FOMO articles, right? And if I do have them or I found them, and that's the only thing I have to report on, then I'll tell you I believe it's FOMO or I believe it's hype, right? So again, if you follow the stream, you've seen me do that. Yeah. Anyways, I'm not sure what happened with that, but I'm glad I'm not using Bybit if it's something bad. Litecoin, what is happening with Litecoin on the daily? Yesterday moving to the downside, 1.36%. Right now moving to the upside, 0.42%. Sitting at 1.50% of market cap. Very small. 1.50% of market cap. Very, very little market cap. Sitting at $43.96. Oh, by the way, I'm thinking about doing some sort of giveaway on December. Maybe on the 24th. I might do a giveaway. But it's going to depend, man. I really do want to have a lot more people here. So I wanted to do like a appreciation kind of giveaway, a couple of XRPs. But there go the ads. A couple of XRPs, but again, I do want to be at least at like maybe 200, 250 subs. I'm not sure if we're gonna get there by December the 24th. That's when I want to do the giveaway, December 24th. So let me do this. Where was this stuff that I had? That's this one. There we go. I might do a big giveaway. So again, if it depends on how many subs we get by then. What's happening with Litecoin? Again, Litecoin on that area where you can make a double bottom, right? Almost at the same price level. Lower than the previous one. No divergence yet. So again, I'll just leave it out for you guys to know. But look at this. This is what I was saying with Bitcoin, right? We come lower. We don't have this with Bitcoin. But look at where we're at, man. We can get to the same bottom and create very little negative momentum. And at some point in time, create these divergence, right? We don't have it right now. But again, something that could potentially develop on the daily. Anyways, nothing else going on right now. Sitting sold on the RSI at 32.21. Nothing really there, man. At current path, your truth and 30 will propel you in the near future. You are the news now. Handle with care. Yeah, maybe, man. I try to be as balanced as I can, man. So again, not really a sellout. And if someone comes and asks me to do something, if they let me do an honest review, like full disclosure, like just give out my thoughts and not say what they want me to say, I will probably do it, right? So again, I did a small segment once for a project that is called ETHPLODE, ETHPLODE, and that's because I like them. I like what they did. They gave they came out with their airdrop, their initial airdrop, and over half of the supply was unclaimed, and they burned it. Like right off the bat, they didn't even question it. They didn't put it back anywhere. Like they just went ahead and burned it. And for me, that spoke volumes of them. because a lot of companies would have just put it back and then geared on a second airdrop. But from them, and that's why I wanted to do a piece on them, because I do believe they might do something interesting. Right now, they're still trying to find a use case. But, you know, I'm in contact with them, so if they do something, they might let me know, and I might do a follow-up on that. Anyways, like I said, something could develop here. Keep an eye out for that. Sitting sold, like we said. So let's go into the 4 hours, man. Shit, this is from the 1 hour. I can tell that for sure. So let's go here and change that to there. And this is also from the 1 hours. We had bullish divergence, right? Again, we had a movement to the upside. Here we had bullish divergence, right? We got that small spike. Again, even from here to here, we're going slightly lower. So again, here you're creating another low. And even from here to here again. How many lows are we going to make before we actually bounce? Sorry, guys. I'll do this real quick. From here to here going down. And from here to here going down as well. So awesome. There we go. And let's see. Here we have it. We caught it right now. So, right. So you have 1, 2, 3. Right. 3 divergences. You didn't have it on the RSI until right now, and that might be the reason why you're bouncing. So I'll leave it to this one right now for it to be equal. Right now, you're starting to get a move to the upside on the Litecoin, and potentially from this divergence, right? Again, just be careful with this as it keeps on developing. You might get an impulse up. I'm not sure how strong it's going to be yet. We need to see how strong it is first, man. Right now, it is a possibility that we get a move to the upside, right? Every time we got a divergence, right? From here to here, we got a small move. From here to here, we got a move. And right now, we're still going farther down. We might get another move. Just be careful. If you want to open a position, set up a tight... Well, you might... See, I don't want to give trading advice, but for me, if I were to do this, I'll probably open a position right now because you're very, very short on the opening, right? This candle just started, so it's brand new. I'll probably put my stop loss somewhere around here. It's not very deep, to be honest. I'll take a measure move first before I actually set it. But this is not even a 1%, man. So no, hell no. I'll probably set my stop loss farther down. I'll probably set a stop loss somewhere around here. Let me take a measure move there. Right, because I'm playing the short term. So again, a 2% move kind of would make sense right now for the market and how it is. And I'll probably set a take profit. Maybe somewhere around this area, right? The 45. It's just gonna be a very minuscule move. Hey Benny, how's it going, man? Thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in, man. We do have 8 people tuned in, and we have 8 of 8 likes. Awesome. That's great. So again, there might be a move to the upside. I'm not 100% sure. If Bitcoin goes down, this might go down. That's why I would set up a stop loss somewhere around here right now. You might say it's very tight, man. A 1% move, it's very easy to hit. Yes, I would agree. But again, if Bitcoin tanks and what we've seen, it can still go farther down. So I'm willing to take a shorter loss because the profit here might not be too big. So again, that's why I would usually just play it somewhere around here, maybe 45.30, maybe even the top here, or the 20 MA would be a place where I would set up something. But right now, I'm not going to take a position on Litecoin, to be honest. So anyways, yeah, I'll show you how I would see this play on the short term, because I would just wait for that small move. And again, I'm not even sure. Let's see, from here to here. The movement is going to be so small that it might even, so to here would be like a 3% move. Maybe the fees from the exchange wouldn't need the profit, right? You would still make very little amount of money. Anyways, after crypto, can I look at stocks, NASDAQ, S&P, Bald, Dentist, Therapeutics? Sure, man. Yeah, it's biotech. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll look for that. All right, cool. So we talked about this in the 4 hours. Let's go into the 1 hour, man. What's happening here? Fuck, man. Sorry. I really don't try not to curse on the stream, but this just gets annoying when this don't stay where it's supposed to, man. All this stuff from the 4 hours coming back and really making everything messy, right? Not cool. 4 hours. Stay where you belong. Cool. So cancel. I don't want to do that. What the hell did I do? There you go. 4 hours. Awesome. Close this one. I'll send this one to 4 hours as well, man. Sorry about this, guys. Again, try to give these as clean as I can, but all this stuff keeps coming back. All right, cool. So let's see on the 1 hour, right? From here to here, we have divergence, very bullish still, right? But from here to here, we don't have it. Why? Well, because we're going lower on that price, right? So again, lower on your negative momentum, or more negative momentum developing. So no divergence for you. No divergence for you. You drop now. And yeah, we didn't create anything bullish or bearish either, right? I mean, technically this is higher, right? So again, if you wanted to go with the wicks again, I wouldn't use the wicks right now because the market is bearish. So again, PUK, what's PUK, bro? You puke or something? Is that what PUK is for? Cool. And we had divergence here as well on the RSI, right? Again, nothing on the top part that really worries me. All right, cool. On the RSI, we do have something. So from here to here, we're going lower, right? You can see that. And from here to here, you're going higher. So you're creating hidden bearish divergence, price continuation to the downside, and that is why this is breaking down. So again, no more price action to the upside for you. You're grounded. See, nasty move to the downside, man. Right now, try and recover, right? Maybe that divergence from the 4 hours that we were talking about, it's might try to play off here. Sitting sold still at 32.59. Let's see what's happening with this. See how it keeps on developing, right? So I'm gonna move on to Binance. The Binance. What is Binance doing? Binance yesterday moving to the upside, 0.89. Right now moving up still, 0.67. Sitting at 1.25% of market cap. Less movement to downside again. If anything, I'm not sure we talked about this the other day, but you're going lower. And you're going lower from here to here. You're creating hidden. Slanted divergence. That's probably why you're pumping here. But this is divergence, so we're dominance. Sorry. So yeah, I don't usually do the analysis for dominance. I don't like it. It's very subjective. But that's usually why you're getting this pump. Anyways, moving to the upside, sitting at 1.25% of market cap. Binance sitting at $15.05. Yesterday, getting a little bit of price, 0.64%. Right now, losing that 1.28. Again, all this moving to the downside, man. Less negative momentum though. Still higher, right? But almost creating that almost double bottom that we talk at least to the candle closes, not to the wicks. And yeah, sitting sold on the RSI at 34.83. So let's go into the 4 hours. This from the 4 hours. One of them is from the 1 hours, I think. The smaller one. Again. There we go. This from the 1 hour. There we go. All right, cool. So lower again, creating that bullish divergence, price action to the upside, rejecting the 20 MA twice. I think we're here in the stream. Right, moving to the downside again, bouncing, right, a lower low than the previous low, very slightly lower low than the previous low, and you can even say sideways price here, making even less negative momentum. So again, creating a bullish divergence, either class B or a type 1. It just depends on how you want to see this. I do believe the price, I gotta zoom in a lot for me to be able to see this properly. Yeah, it looks like we're the same. So again, it would be like a class B. So price is just moving sideways and going lower, right? So again, creating divergence. Price action to the upside, getting above that 20 MA, but being very weak, not able to sustain it, breaking down the next candle, again bearish, and then moving down again, about to get cross off over the signal line, under the signal line. So again, potential move to the downside still. Let's wait and see how this candle plays out. It might stop it right now because I'm seeing this flicker up and down. Sitting neutral on the RSI, 42.08. So again, let's see what else is happening with this, right? Let's go into the 1 hour. Guys, if you like what we do, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell. We have 8 people tuned in, 8 amazing viewers tuned in. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I do appreciate each and every one of you for reals, man. It means a lot that you guys come here to watch the stream and look at me go crazy with the charts and figure out what else we can do, right? Anyways, this is from the 4 hours. Again, just came back here, so we'll send that back, and we'll send this back as well. Go back to your time frame. No cookies for you. Yeah, let's see what's going on here, man. We're on same, right? We said so. Here we had that divergence as well. So price, man, really moving sideways here. And let's see this. 1647, 100. So yeah, definitely going lower. And also on the other side, I do believe we do have that as well. So we'll take it from here to here. Right. Radio, man. And then we have that divergence, bullish price action to the upside. We're getting that pump. Very nice pump, right? The only thing, it's higher than the previous high as well. So very nice. Not divergence here, bearish. So it's probably breaking down because Bitcoin was breaking down, right? We don't have anything here to like say we're gonna move to down. So let me go into the 4 hours, man. Let's see, native to positive, right? With more momentum sitting there. Yeah, so no reason why we should have broken down. Maybe because Bitcoin started to move to down. Maybe because Bitcoin moved down, man. That's it. Can't find anything else to justify this movement to the downside. This island is very real. I wouldn't ignore it. And even if I wanted to go to this island, it's still much higher than this one. So nothing there. Again, moving down, consolidating awkwardly. Not very nice consolidation going on. So I can't really tell what we're going to do right now. Really doesn't look like much, but maybe this would be one. And this might be the other one. Something like that. Maybe, but again, it's too short. So I want for something a little bit longer to develop. Before we actually call something. Again, Bitcoin trying to move up. Sorry, not Bitcoin, Binance trying to move up. That's it for the market. Yeah, Anonymous has a coin he wants to check out. He's saying, after crypto, can I look at stocks? NASDAQ, S&P, yes. Bold Identity Therapeutics. Okay, cool. So you want me to look at NASDAQ and the S&P, like individually? Sure, I'll do that. Let's go on the daily first because this is usually better on the daily. So I think I do have the NASDAQ open in the S&P. Just let me find it real quick. Dow Jones, SPX. Here we go. All right, so some gap down. All right, cool. Let's see. Really trying to sum up. I'm going to use the weekly first. Again, stocks have been in an uptrend for a long time, right? And right now we're starting to see maybe some sort of what is this? 2008. Okay. This is the time frame I was looking for. So 2008, right? If we look further back, just for historical data, look, this would have been on February 3rd on 74, man, like 1974, like really way back. Anyway, see, we got like into a period of stagnation, right? And then here on March 2009, we kind of started this new movement to the upside, right? And a lot of people are worried because they say the market's cyclical and every 13 years or so it drops. We get a minor drop and we're trying to pull to the upside again, but every time we pull higher, or at least from what I can see here in the shorter term, we're creating divergence, right? So from here to here, we're going higher, right? And we're going lower here. Again, here we're kind of moving sideways on the RSI for that same time frame. So we're creating bearish divergence, strong, and here like weak, right? So what I want to see closer is this one. You have to zoom in a lot to say you don't have it, right? But from here to here, you're going much higher. And even though it's not bearish divergence, just look at how much higher you went and look at how much strength you actually went up with, or how much momentum you went up with. Almost nothing, right? It just moves. It looks like it's almost nothing there. Sorry, ads coming in. I'll just refresh this and play something else. I'm not sure if we played this one yet, so maybe we have. No divergence here on the RSI. So again, not here either. Here I'm just pointing out that it took a lot more, a little bit more strength to go that much higher. So again, not really the best. I would have wanted to see this a lot more higher, right? So again, it's not a very bullish sign that you're almost at the same level, man. So what is this? 11.3, 12.6. So like 1.3 on the histogram. Anyway, sitting overbought right now. Sorry, not overbought, bought at 61.24. Again, you might want to move down a little bit, reset the oscillators before you try to run again. If you do, you might hit that 20 MA and then bounce from there. And that 20 MA would seem to be sort of congruent with this area here. This area here, that might give us some support, right? So we might find some support if this moves down. Anyways, let's go on to it's a NASDAQ, so here's NASDAQ. Again, NASDAQ looking a little bit different. This is the weekly though. Shit, I forgot to look at the daily on the S&P, and we'll do that right now. On the daily, man, what is going on? Let's see. All right, cool. So back here, right, you can see that you're going up, and here you're going down. So again, bearish divergence. Here you're going up. So you just had it on the MACD. Let's look shorter term. What's going on here, man? All right, cool. So you can see here that you're going higher as well. And here to here going lower, right? So again, you're creating that divergence, bearish, strong bearish divergence. Price action to the downside, you got it, right? It's played out. Now you're going lower than the previous low, right? And with more negative momentum, so again, just fine. But here you kind of reset your oscillator already at 51.31. There's a chance you could run to the upside again. This could sort of do a U-turn, right? It's like it did here. I'm gonna try to pump. But again, this is really affected by news, so you might want to wait and see what starts to come out with the news, and maybe we see something else happening, right? But again, the shorter term, the shortest term would be this move. It would have been over the last couple of weeks, since November the 7th until November the 27th, and then we got that move to the downside, right? Awesome. So since we did S&P 500, let's go to NASDAQ. Let's see this on the weekly first. You might get a clue what's going on. Again, markets, usually it's better to look at them in a larger time frame. Alright, cool. So I'm going to trade this as a sideways motion, right? Even all the way up to here. It makes sense. You can't touch in all three areas. It's just going to be close enough for the example, right? Bearish divergence, price action to the downside, you got it to play out. And then shortest term, yes, 0.18, 0.18. So you're just moving sideways, man. Really, no divergence. You're just moving sideways here. Price and oscillator moving sideways. Now here, do we have something? Yeah, baby, very slightly moving down from here to here. So again, creating against the RSI, you're creating bearish divergence, type 2, class B. Medium bearish divergence. So again, you might move to the downside, and that's probably what we're seeing here. That's it for the NASDAQ. I mean, on the weekly, I'm gonna go look at it just short term real quick. Let's see, high, lower high, less positive momentum. Higher high, more positive momentum. Again, hitting over bought right now, hitting bought at 60.99. Again, you're going down. It just seems like regular market motion right now. Really nothing to worry about here yet. So that's it for this, man. There's really nothing I can trace here short term. So let's go into Audentes Therapeutics. On the NASDAQ, it's quoting as bold. You were right, man. I thought bold, you meant like bold letters. Sorry about that. Dude, what is wrong with the what's wrong with the MACD, man? What the hell? Why is this doing this? So there we go. This would have been December the 2nd. So today apparently did nothing. Did it not trade today? There's no data for today. It just looks weird. Maybe I'm not sure if it moved to the downside or the upside. Oh, apparently it's a positive movement. $105. Awesome. So it moved $105 to the upside, even though we don't have the bar. Oh snap! It's over here, man. Yeah, it's way up here, man. What the hell? It gapped up like crazy and it didn't move at all, man. That just looks really freaking weird. Let's see. Trying to see if there's anything on the news on the side. All right, so there's something that just came out 4 hours ago and might have an impact of the price to the downside. In this article, it says, shareholder alert, Wise Law LLP investigate Audentes Therapeutics. So this happened tonight. Wise Law LLP is investigating possible breaches of fiduciary duty and other violations of law by the board of directors of Audentes Therapeutics, Nasdaq Bold, in connection with the proposed acquisition of the company by Astellas Pharma Inc. So there's probably something that happened. If they open an investigation, it's a negative news. This might go down, right? Be careful. If you take action on this with that news that came out like apparently 4 hours ago, post-market close, might mean something. So I'm trying to figure out why pump though. The gene therapy names, moving on, the Audentes buyout deal. So apparently there's going to be a buyout. The one that we were talking about, probably that's why this pumped, maybe. Again, very nice move to the upside. Again, this pumped on technicals, right? Sorry, this pumped on fundamentals, not technicals. The news made the movement happen. So again, there's really, I'm not sure there's anything I can call here except for this divergence, right? But again, it wouldn't justify that move to the upside as violent. So you're going lower here on the price, and you're going higher. Go away, hide for now. I need to like buy a membership for this so it stops bothering me. Maybe that's what's happening with the charts as well, right? Okay, cool. So you have bullish divergence on two of the oscillators, the MACD and the RSI. MACD histogram and the RSI. Price action to the upside, right? You were sitting neutral. You got that move to the upside. This is the move I would have expected to see, right? A very natural looking move. This move up here, it's the news. That's it. That's the move, bro. Let's say from here to here, going sideways from here to here. So see this high, the previous high, this one, from this high to this high, you're going slightly higher. From this high to this high, you're going sideways. In fact, you were creating some sort of bearish divergence again. Price action to the downside, and you were seeing it started to play out, but you hit that 20 MA bounce, and then the news brought you up. Anyways, if you didn't want to see this as divergence, and that's fine, you could go to here and say that, oh, look, I don't want this. This is all one island, so again, it's possible, right? But again, you could go here and say, look, they're both going up, and that's it. You know, that's a fair way of viewing this. Again, this, you don't have it on the RSI. Just this divergence that I was talking about, it will just happen on the histogram if you don't consider this bar, which you could choose to ignore because this is one island, right? Awesome. So yeah, that's that. This pumped on news, bro. And the news came out like 12 hours ago or so, or more than that, right? But there's a lot of news around like 12 hours ago or so stating that yeah. The gene therapy names, moving on, the Audentes buyout deal. So, gene therapy company Audentes announced a deal late Monday to be acquired by the Japanese pharma Astellas Pharma, which is the one that's being investigated apparently. 60 per share, representing a 110 premium over Audentes Monday closing price. So again, the movement of the price is because the buyout is putting it out here. I think it also happened with Ripple. Ripple paid a premium for MoneyGram, $1.14 per share when it was lower, and that gives you a valuation, right? That means your company is being valued at $60. Again, probably why the price moved almost to $60. It's sitting at $58.93, right? Because that valuation of $60 per share they gave them. They're buying part of the company at that. So again, representing 110% premium over at this Monday closing. Like I said, okay, cool. That's why pumped, bro. That's the reason, right? It pumped on, like I said, on fundamentals, not on technicals. That's it for this. Does anyone have anything else you want to look at before we close the stream? I'm back. Sorry, guys. For some reason, OBS disconnected me. I hope you're here still. But I'm back. So I was saying, if any of you guys have any requests before I close the stream, let me know, and we'll check it out. If not, we'll call it a stream for tonight, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. We've been live for about an hour and 30 minutes. I'm fine still, so we could still go longer if you guys want to, or if you just gotta call it a night, we could do that as well, and that's fine with me either. So whatever you guys want to do. I leave the I'm gonna leave this open for a second before we actually call it a stream. So if you're caught up with me, you probably know that yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. Awesome, guys. Thank you for watching, guys. If you like what we do, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you're notified when we go live. Again, I appreciate each and every one of you coming here and spending time with me, chilling, and having fun, looking at the market. There's a delay. Awesome. Anonymous, if you want me to look at something else, let me know. I was about to sign off. I will stick around for a little bit while that delay plays out. And then we can look at something else, or if nothing else, then I'll just end the stream. OTLK, cool. I guess it's this one, also pumped. Outlook Therapeutics. Alright, cool. Let's see what happened here. These also probably pumped the news, man. You would have had technicals for a move to the upside, right? Coming down here, let's say. Somewhere in here. We'll anchor here for this exercise. The exercise's sake. You would also have that going on here on your RSI right here. So you did have bullish divergence, strong to warrant price action to the upside. It was very weak. You were moving down again, so you're not very bullish. And then you have this nice pump to the upside. Again, this is probably on, like I said, technicals. Sorry, not technicals, fundamentals. So there's only one article from today, 16 hours ago. Let's look at that and see what happened. They probably got some drug approved or something. Outlook Therapeutics receives FDA agreement for 3 special protocol assessments for additional planned clinical trials. So that's why he pumped. Clinical trials announced. Right? ONS. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's why he pumped, man. Outlook Therapeutics, late clinical stage biopharmaceutical company working to develop the first FDA-approved ophthalmic formulation of bevacizumab for the use in retinal indications. Today announced that it has received agreement from the U.S. FDA, and 3 special protocol assessments for 3 additional registration clinical trials for its ongoing phase 3 program for ONS 5010, an investigational ophthalmic formulation of, like, whatever we said that drug was, right? The agreement reached with the FDA and covered the protocols for NORSE-4, a registration clinical trial to treat BRBO, and NORSE-5 and NORSE-6, 2 registration clinical trials to treat DME. Outlook Therapeutics intends to initiate NORSE-4 and 5 and 6 in 2020. So that's what they're pumping, bro. They technicals were there, but not too strong. They were still moving to the downside. No more divergence developing. You could kind of say you did have some divergence developing, right? So from here to here, you will be going within this island, though, like this, creating that slant divergence here. It's 32.03, 31. So this is lower than this. So you didn't have it on the RSI, just on the histogram, the second one. Right, and but you pumped on the news, right? On the FDA. That movement is from the news, not from technicals. Yeah. Other than that, the next article will be from November 12th, so I'm not gonna go with that one. And before that, September 11th. So again, this company doesn't put out too many news. Price is cheap though, $1.59 for stock again. And let's see the historical stuff. I'll hide the Bollinger Band so I can like zoom out properly and look at this. This has been on a downtrend since, I'm not sure if this was inception for them, but let's see, June 2016. Right, they opened at $35, then they went to $43, and now they're sitting at $1. So if you bought back here, you would have lost almost 100% of your value, man. Not the best. Also, not all-time lows though. All-time lows would have been here on May 2019. Awesome. That's it for this, man. Again, not too much that I can do with this except what we just looked at. And the reason for this movement to the downside, it's from this, right? You had hidden bearish divergence, price continuation, and you're obviously in a downtrend, so your continuation is down sloping. That's why you broke down. Again, creating these divergence, right? Bullish, and then trying to pump to the upside. But again, you are being too weak to pump to the upside right now. Pumped on news. I'm not sure how long the news are going to keep the price up here. So again, if you buy right now, you're going to probably buy you either bought the FOMO or you're going to buy very little. Again, I'm not sure how much this is going to pump on those news or how long it's going to stay at this price. So, yeah. If any other coin request? Or stock or whatever you guys want to look at, we'll look at that, right? So I'm not sure if you're caught up with me yet, Anonymous, or not. But again, if not, we'll just Enigma. There we go. PNG. Enigma. I'm trying to look at this here, man. Enigma, here we go, but it's the Bitcoin. Let's find a US pair. We have this. I'm not sure we looked at this before. Yeah, we looked at this before. Here we go. We actually did analysis for this before. Awesome, man. What happened here? Let's see. I remember we didn't have anything here to warrant a price continuation. Let's on the daily, there's nothing, right? High. If anything, from here to here, we had divergence, right? Bearish. For some reason, it's not here, but this should be on the daily. And I'll make sure it stays here forever, so it doesn't go and bother us anywhere else. Is this on the daily also? Let's see. Yeah, on the daily also. Okay, cool. This is from the short timer. Okay, cool. So we had divergence, right? Bearish, price action to the downside. We got it. We're pumping on what? I'm not sure, man. We don't have all the data for this, so let's go and look at this. Sitting right now neutral, sorry, on their side at 52.79. Negative momentum starting to build. And that negative momentum since October. So yeah, let's wait and see how these keep playing out, right? So let's go into the 4 hours, right? On the 4 hours, cool. We had divergence, right? Hidden bullish price to the upside, a continuation. Again, that's what shifted us into this uptrend. Bearish divergence. This is probably from the 1 hour. You know, we also have it here on the 4 hours. So from here, you're going slightly lower again. You're going higher, right? More positive momentum, also higher on your RSI. That's fine. And then you go here, and then you're doing negative momentum since. And the other thing I can tell you is that you're kind of developing a bullish divergence, sorry, from here to here and from here to here. Not on the RSI though. Just here you have that bullish divergence. Potential price action to the upside. You might do a step and then keep on dropping. This negative momentum island still on developing. So again, you don't have divergence on the RSI, just on the MACD histogram. That's it for this here. We're sitting sold at 34.4. Let's go into the 1 hour. Let's do 1 hour. 1 hour later. This is from the 4 hours. Oh, it's from the 1 hour. What the hell? Why are you on that? I'm not matching with anything down here. What happened? Okay, cool. Cool, awesome. Yeah, I see why I have that there. We have that going on there, and we don't have it here. So okay, cool. Had hidden bearish divergence, price continuation. You got that small drop. Now shorter term. It is from the 1 hour also. It's from the 1 hour. See, why is my stuff not here, man? Okay, cool. So here you had bearish divergence, right? From here to here within this island. So potential price action to the downside. You didn't quite get it, although you went all the way up here, let's say, for that, because this is the end of that. And you don't have it on the other side. Again, price action to the downside. You got it played out slightly. Then you still went farther down here. Higher low, sorry. Less negative momentum. Again, going to a higher high than the previous one. Again, creating divergence also from here to here, right? On that secondary, right? So second bearish divergence coming in. Not on the RSI again. And then you start to move to the outside again. Let's see what's going on with this coin. And then you went up higher with more positive momentum. That's it. That's fine there. But from here to here, you're going higher. From here to here, you're going lower. And from here to here, you're going slightly lower. So you're creating some sort of bearish divergence. Price action to the downside. You got this played out nicely. Again, that negative momentum has been building since. Let's see. Closing of this would be 53.77, 53.74, very close. This is like a sideways motion. Sideways motion going slightly less here. Again, creating bullish divergence, price action to the upside. You got a small pump, very weak though. Moving farther down still and creating divergence from here to here. And from here to here, pump. Again, you get that pump. From here to here, it looks like sideways motion. Sorry, no, not really. Price is a little bit higher. So you get no divergence here. Going to the top part, let's see. High, higher, high, more positive momentum, so nothing there. Very weak though. Moving farther down. So again, this one already played. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Get the rhythm for this chart, right? So actually I'll take it to there, and I'll take it from here to here, right, for that bullish divergence. It really makes sense. Don't have it on the other side. Again, bullish divergence here. Price action to the upside. You got that pump. Here you have bearish divergence developing. Trying to move to the downside then, right, from here. And from here to here. So yes, from here to here. Awesome. There we go, price action to the downside. Okay, cool. So from here to here, definitely moving lower. From here to here, you're moving slightly and creating bullish divergence. Price action to the upside, get it. Weak though, moving down still. Creating another divergence here. Right? Even to here, diverging, right? That's where you're getting these small pumps. Even from here to here, man, you're right, it's almost nothing there. And you'll be getting this divergence, sorry, from here to here. And this one actually played out here. Just like that. There we go. Price action down, so you're still not getting very, very strong stuff happening here. You do have two very small momentum islands, negative. So I wouldn't ignore them. But if you want to find another bullish sign, you could go from this major to this major one, and go from here to here, and then call that your bearish divergence. But again, I wouldn't do that one. For me, this is just a new lower low. That's it. I fear you're gonna get bounced here. If it's any consolation, you're going lower here. You're going slightly higher here on your RSI, creating bullish divergence. That's it for this. Let's go on to SNX, Syntax. To the dollar. There we go. This chart is wrong because these are negatives and positives and they all look green. It makes it really, really weird for charting. You don't have anything on the daily, right? Sitting sold at 38.06. Let's go to the 4 hours. Much better. Alright, cool. So here you had like an inverse head and shoulders. It's just really easy to see, right? So you got your neckline. Would have been something like this. Kind of broke it with 3 white soldiers. And then you would have gone from here to the neck. Right, and that would have been your measure move. You're gonna put it at your breakout. And you almost hit it, man. You actually did hit it. That measure move is at 63.75. And the height of this candle, right, it's 63.83. So very, 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 you were almost spot on and hitting it and then rejecting. That's fine. So okay, cool. You had this. Let's see what's going on here. And the reason you broke down is because you created divergence here. Bearish divergence. Price action to the downside again. Playing out. Moving you down. The only thing they have going on right now is they're creating bullish divergence from here to here. And from here to here. That's it. This is all going to go into the 1 hour. Fudge backer. Sorry, that's a line from a movie. If you haven't seen Cannibal the Musical, it's hilarious. There's a sign, a guy named Packer, and then there's this guy who has fudge. He offers fudge to Packer, so he's like, fudge? Packer? It's a funny line. It's from the guys that did South Park. It's really hilarious, guys. I think they got expelled from the university from actually making that movie. I just thought it was funny. Anyways, so what's going on here in the 1 hour? Moving to the downside, nothing here, lower low again. Really nothing that I can call, man. You were kind of like doing this new lower high, high, so low, higher low. So again, nothing really going on here. You were like in a symmetrical triangle and you just broke it to the downside. That's it. You will be going on this. Top of the deal there. There we go. Right, and then you broke down. That's it. You were about to hit a measure move, but you didn't. That's it for this, man. Not much we do. So right now you move down, you're starting to consolidate again, just like everyone else in the market. Yeah. Yeah, cool. Adam. Sure, yeah, we're looking at him. I'm looking at him cracking. With a lot of gappage. All right, awesome. So on the daily, man, this is gonna be easy. You're going definitely much higher. Right? I'm gonna ignore this island. I'm choosing to ignore it because it's not a major high, right? This is a higher high. So creating that divergence there. You don't have it on the RSI. Break it down. That's why you broke down on this divergence, and I'm choosing to ignore it because it makes sense to ignore it, right? From here to here, going lower, right? Lower high, that's fine. From here to here, going higher. But again, your major immediate high, your major high would be this one, and this would be your new major high. So from that high to that high, you're creating that divergence, right? That's why I ignore this noise. All right, so you broke down from here to here, going up. So why are you going up? Why Spotify's coming out so quickly, man? Not really giving me those 15 minutes of playtime. Maybe because I keep skipping the ads. I should buy a Spotify membership for this channel. Oh, there we go. I'll play this one. Alright, cool. So where was I? Yeah, I was here doing this. And then you were going here. You're creating a hidden bullish divergence. Price continuation. That's why you're moving up. But right now you're creating a lower high than the previous high. So nothing else going on there. You're breaking down because the market is breaking down. So if anything, right now, it would look like you would be making a sort of triangle of sorts, right? So like that. Wait for this to develop a little bit more, and then we'll call it triangle here. Again, this daily is going to take a while, but that's it for now, man. Nothing else, man. Nothing else. That's it for now on this one. So sitting neutral on the other side, 47.30. Let's go on to the 4 hours, man. What is happening on the 4 hour? I forgot to leave the candles from the daily on the daily. Go back to the daily you. There we go, there we go. And yeah, there we go as well. There we go. Awesome, man. Alright, cool. Short term, right? That's what we want to do here. So we'll go from here to here, from here to here. Down on the other side, creating the bearish divergence, breaking it down. That's why you breaking down, man. Shorter term, going down again, going from here to a new low, but less negative momentum. Nothing on the RSI, but again, creating that bullish divergence, price, potential price action to the upside. Let's see here, man. All right, cool. So from here to here, you were creating divergence as well, right? From here to here, from here to here. From here to here, divergence. So that's it for this. Bullish divergence, price action to the upside, got it. Bearish divergence, break it down. Bullish divergence, let's see if it breaks you up again. And just going from here to here, right? I mean, it's gotta be hidden bullish. I'm not gonna leave it up right now. But even from here to here, to this one over here, ignoring this ones, right? You're creating hidden bullish divergence, right? So again, potential price continuation, right? And this divergence would signify that we might get that price action to the upside. Let's go into the 1 hour, man. On the 1 hour, sitting sold at 20, oversold actually, at 28.15. Again, a new low with more negative momentum than the previous one. It makes sense, right? This from here to here had divergence, right? Bullish divergence. From here to here, it would seem that you're moving sideways, even though you're going lower. Again, creating divergence. Bullish, but like class C divergence, right? And then on the RSI, you would actually make it strong bullish divergence. So from here to here, I guess. There we go. So you have divergence here, price action to the upside, strong on the RSI, weak on the histogram, price action to the upside, getting that pump. Again, a lower than the previous one. Now the question is, are we higher? Yes, we are, very slightly. Right here, going slightly higher. From here to here, we're going slightly lower. And yeah, that's why we're moving to the downside, right? Hidden bearish divergence, price continuation. Now, Trebek, let me know which other coin you want me to look at. Yeah, bro, throw another coin if you want to look at another coin. Sorry, man. It's been a very, very long day at the office, so if I start making funny noises or voices, that's, yeah, it's because my brain is probably fried. And I was, for some reason, celebrating Remembering Celebrity Jeopardy. Anyways, yeah. Anything else, bro? That's why we're breaking down. You're creating a hidden bearish divergence price continuation. You're in downtrend. You're moving down. That's it for this, man. Really, not much going on with the market right now. Apparently, sorry. Yeah, you don't have it on the other side. You're going definitely lower here. So yeah, let's do this. That's it for this. Yeah, let's see. What else? Bitcoin. I was trying to see what we're doing. See, we're rejecting that midline every time. Boom, once, twice. This was like when I started streaming. This is like right now. We're about to close this candle. We're still not being able to break. So again, the consolidation does not look very clean. I can tell it that this is going like this, but I can't really have a clear picture as to what's happening with the bottom part, right? I'm not sure if I should ignore this week as FOMO, take from this one to this one, right? Or if I leave, if I take this one as well and then go here, right? Something like that. It's still unclear yet, so I want more candles to develop for this. On the yeah. Awesome, guys. That's gonna be it for tonight. If you like what we do, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you're notified when we go live. Again, talk about crypto to your friends, to your families, to your co-workers. Let them know that we are here. We're a very fun channel. We're a very friendly channel. We're a very neutral channel. We look at any coin, every coin, anything that moves on the market with the same intensity that anything else, even though if we don't know it, like we did with some of the stuff that happened today, with some of the stokes that Anonymous requested. We ended up looking at the news to figure out what was going on and get a better idea as to why the pumps were happening. Again, we do try to get the news segment first, and then we do the analysis and see if the fundamentals marry the technicals. Sometimes they don't, and sometimes the fundamentals move the market, sometimes the technicals move the market. So that's why we look at both. Now, that's gonna be it for tonight, guys. If you like what we do, again, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell. I hope you enjoy the show. I hope you enjoy the intros that we have for the segments. I'm gonna try to work on see why they keep on stopping, but tonight I'm probably gonna call it our early night. Yesterday was very late. The first video that we played, the one with the world, it didn't render properly yesterday for the show, and I actually started the show later than usual because I was waiting for the video to render. So when it finished, I had to go render it again, and it took another like 2 hours and change to like get done. And then so I went to bed like at almost 3 in the morning, and then I had to wake up for like work, take my kids to school, etc. So yeah, I'm very, very tired today. Thank you for watching. That's gonna be it. I'll catch you tomorrow.